Hey guys, it's EJ from MyPathToSelf.com here. I've already recorded like 2 or 3 videos today, but I wanted to make an audio as well because it's a concept that is incredibly important for generating wealth and becoming successful. And you know, it's not so much as a technique as it is just a way that you live. You know, it's not like something that you do, it's just something that you are. And, you know, typically those are the best kind of, you know, things to learn when it comes to this kind of shit. So, what I'm talking about today is something that you've learned about if you've read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. I'm going to be posting this on YouTube, so I'm going to post a link below to the book. If you have not read it, you really should, especially if you are trying to become wealthy, if you're trying to become rich, if you're trying to be successful. This is the way to do it. This book is incredible. People like Jim Rohn have talked about it, Anthony Robbins, Jason Capital, pretty much all of the major people that I listen to, you know, the people that I take advice from, tell me or have told me that this book is just, it's number one. It's like, it's told in story form, which is really cool because it really sticks with you. You know, you can remember a story a lot better than you can remember a technique. But what I learned, the number one, I'm pretty sure it's the first lesson in the book. Like, you know, because it's a story book, it tells it in story form, but at the same time, it's kind of like Aesop's Fables in that every single chapter of the book has a moral, you know, has a lesson that you learn at the end of it. And, you know, it's a really short book. It's only like 70, 80 pages, something like that. And it's a really cheap book because of that. It's really old. It used to be distributed by the banks to all of the people that were either working there or going there, you know, using them as their bank. It wasn't just one bank either. It was like someone who made millions and millions and millions of dollars from the book had paid to print up thousands upon thousands, maybe even millions of copies of this thing. And they used to hand them out at banks because it was so effective for generating wealth. But without further ado, I want to get to the technique that I'm talking about here, which, I mean, I know I keep diverting from what I'm talking about, but it was also mentioned in the Bible. Someone else told me that. I think Tony Robbins mentioned it somewhere, but someone had mentioned it to me and it really stuck with me. I was like, wow, that's a trip, you know, like even in biblical times they knew about this. But the thing I'm talking about is called tithing. T-I-T-H-I-N-G. Or to tithe, T-I-T-H-E. If you want to look it up, you can. Basically what it means is taking 1/10 of something and setting it aside. So, in terms that I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about, you know, taking 10% of your income aside. And, you know, it's like taxing yourself, kind of. And what you do is you take this 10% of your income and you put it into savings, or even better, you put it into some kind of account, like an index fund or a mutual fund or some kind of stocks. You invest it, because when you invest it, I mean, especially in an index fund, like that's what I'm saving for right now. I'm going to put my money into an index fund. Not sure which one yet, but you know, I'll figure it out. But so you take 10% of your money and you set it aside, and if you think about it, 1/10 of your money for a year is 1/10 of your yearly income, right? So after 10 years, you have 1 year worth of wages. I mean, assuming that you stayed at the same income, the same salary every single year, you get 1 year's worth of income. So let's just say, for instance, you know, you're middle class, you make 40, or let's just say 50 grand a year. For argument's sake, it's a lot easier to work with a nice round number. I'm not going to say $36,453.29 or something like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain it in terms of 50 grand a year. So 50 grand a year, 1/10, let's just say 48 grand, because that's easily divisible by 12. So 48 grand a year, you're making 4 grand a month, right? So 10% of 4 grand is $400. $400 times 12 months is $4,800. So at the end of 1 year, if you're making 48 grand a year, you're going to have almost $5,000 set aside to put it into an investment that's going to continue and grow. And what they say in The Richest Man in Babylon is they say this is creating a situation where your money works for you. Rather than hiring people, people that can steal from you, or people that are not good workers, or people that are just wasting your time, or blah, 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 blah. You have money in the bank. And what's cool about an index fund is an index. It's like several different companies, like the Vanguard 500, for instance. That's the one that I keep hearing about the most. That's the one that I'm leaning towards, until I find something better, is 500 different companies that are proven to succeed. Proven to grow at least a little bit. And if what I hear is correct, I'm pretty sure it grows about 9 to 10% a year, compounded annually. So this means, what compounded annually means, compounded, for instance, is, you get your interest and you get your capital, the money you put in to start out with. So let's say you put 10 grand into this fund, right? And let's say it grows 10%. So at the end of the first year, you're going to have 11,000 instead of 10,000, because 1,000 is 10% of that. So 11,000. So what compounded means is compound is going to take your original capital and your interest, which is now $11,000, and you're going to start gaining interest on that. 10% of $11,000 is $1,100. So at the end of year 2, not only do you have 12,000, you have 12,100, and it just goes and goes and goes from there. It just grows and grows, and it keeps growing. And what's cool about this is it's not a 401k. You don't have to worry about your company going under. You don't have to worry about losing it if you switch careers or blah 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 blah. You're investing through a brokerage. You're investing in your future. You're investing in your children's future. You're investing in your family's future. You're investing in your freedom in a couple years from now. Like if you start this, if you're listening to this and you're young, like let's say you're a teenager, or you're 20, or even if you're as old as I am. I'm not old. I'm 25. But, I feel like I've wasted a lot of my life, doing shit that I shouldn't have been doing. And I could be a lot further right now. But let's just say you're 25, okay? I don't have any of the math written down right now, so I'm not going to talk about it. But if you were to start doing this right now, and even if you're not making that much money, let's just say you're making minimum wage in California, which is $10 an hour. Say you're working full time, that's 40 hours a week. It's $400. I'm not going to minus taxes. That's a lot of math. But so, you're $400 a week, 52 weeks out of the year is $20,800 over the course of a year. Let's just say 20 grand. And you invest 10% of that into your saving or your index fund every single year, or every month, whatever. So at the end of year 1, you have like 2 grand put towards this investment. So every year after that, you're going to get $200+ on that investment. And then the next year, you're going to put 2 more grand in. You're going to have 4,000 working. So you're going to get 400 more a year. The next year, you're going to have like well over $6,000 because of all the compound interest by then. But, let's just, for argument's sake, again, let's just say $600 a year. So it really adds up. Once you have like 10 grand in there, you grow $1,000 each year. And not only that, but your 1,000 starts to gain money. So for every $1,000 interest that you start gaining, you're gaining another $100 on top of that. Once you start getting up into the $100,000, like if you get up to $100,000, I'm not doing full math right now. I'm not giving you the full picture here. But let's say that you start at 18, and at 18, you're working full time, making minimum wage in California, which is $10 an hour, and you're making about 20 grand a year, minus taxes or whatever. I'm just trying to be as simple as possible right now. But 20 grand a year is what you're bringing in. By the time, after 10 years, you're gonna have 20 grand in the bank. And this is a long ways down the road, and it's probably not going to be it's not going to be a full 50 years, because it's going to continue growing, and it's going to get there quicker than you think. But once you get up to like $100,000 in your investment account, and it's growing 10% a year, you're gaining 10 extra thousand fucking dollars a year. $10,000, and it takes a while to build up. Like I'm saying this, but you don't have to do it on your own. If you have family that wants to invest with you, you can get them to start tithing too. Just grow. You grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Just like your mind, just like your spirit, just like your attitude, you grow and you grow and you grow. And that's what's amazing about tithing. That's what's amazing about The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon, that's only one lesson. There's like 13 chapters in there, around 10 or something. I mean, I don't know. There's more than one lesson in there. That's what I'm saying. But, this is the biggest one that I pulled out. This is the one that Jim Rohn talks about. This is the one that Tony Robbins talks about. And you don't have to just take 10%. If you have it easy right now, if you don't need all your money, if you're just wasting your money, put away 20%. You'll get there twice as fast. I don't know. I thought it was an amazing concept. And I did something similar to this a couple years ago. But I didn't really stick with it, and I started tapping into it when I got hard up for money. But if you, that's why I said self-tax yourself, tax it. Pull it away from yourself before you even have a chance. Put it into an account where you don't have a debit card for it, and it's a pain to get the money out. And don't count it as your emergency fund. Have your tithing account and then have your emergency fund somewhere separate. So this is not part of your emergency fund. And then no matter what, it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And if you're younger and, like I said, somewhere around my age, if you're in your 20s or even a teenager and you have, grandparents or parents that have money and they see that you're putting this kind of money in there and they know about it, they will help you. They will believe in you. You have a vision for the future when you're doing this. You know where you want to go. You know what you want to happen. You know that it's going to happen if you stick with it. And people don't buy into your goals. This is not a goal. This is your vision for the future. You're going to retire early doing this. And people will see that and they will become inspired and they will help you. Take it from me, man. I've been there. I've been in some really, really bad, really tough spots. You've heard my story before. I've done the whole drug thing. I've been homeless. I've lost contact with my family. I've lost my house. I've lost my girlfriend. I lost my dog. It sounds like a country song, of course, but no, it's serious stuff. It's not fun. And, no matter where you've been, you're not your past. It doesn't matter where you come from. It matters where you're going. And, you decide where you're going, and if where you want to go is up and up and up, like I said in another video, your true north, then start heading in that direction and let people around you know that no matter what they say, they're not going to stop you from doing it. And people will want to too. That's what's the worst thing about it. But I'm going to cut this thing a little bit short because I know I've been rambling on for a minute, but I hope you guys learned something. I hope you really, really, really enjoyed it. And I will see you guys later. This has been EJ from My Path to Self. Comment, subscribe, or give it a thumbs up if you liked the video, and I will talk to you guys later.